So it used to be that Google AdWords was pretty much the go-to place to generate leads. The traffic was quite cheap, but costs have risen up, and there's huge companies with huge budgets. I mean, some financial services like business loans, like life insurance, it can be like 30 quid for a click. So for a lead, you're talking hundreds of pounds almost. There are other financial services that are much cheaper. And we are seeing a migration of budget from Google Ads to Facebook because it's so much cheaper, but we're still finding like really good quality on Facebook as well. But if you are running Google AdWords campaigns or you want to, I've got some top tips for you. So my first top tip is simplicity. You don't need loads of keywords. You don't need all the keywords. Sometimes like a handful. This depends on your budget, obviously. Just like a few keywords can be better for you than a load. Like, don't spread yourself too thin. I have literally managed to help someone reduce their cost per sale, their cost per lead massively just by narrowing down to like a few keywords before they had like hundreds. So sometimes just tightening up, focusing can make all the difference. So when it comes to bidding, I prefer to manually bid and keep an eye on things. I just prefer to have the control. I want to be, if I want to be position one, I want to be position one. I want to manually adjust that. I just find relying on Google not good enough unless you are consistently getting a lot of conversions, and then you can go to a cost per acquisition bidding. But I like to keep control pretty much all the time. So try manual bidding. You get to know what bid it's going to take to get to where you want to go. So I just prefer to use manual bidding. Okay, so don't always accept Google's recommendations because Google wants you to have more traffic, but actually what you want is more leads. They are two very, very different things. So don't always accept when that little red thing pops up and says, oh, try this, try that. It can mess up your whole campaign. So I had a client fairly recently actually who had access to the account, and then he was just clicking yes to everything, and we went from manual bidding to like bidding at a cost per acquisition of like £500 for like a lead, and it just messed up the whole campaign for a whole day just because he clicked yes. So now we've got a bit of a hands-off policy with that client. In fact, he doesn't want to touch it anymore. But it just goes to show Google wants to give you traffic, not leads. So don't always say everything that they suggest. So probably the most important thing you can do with Google is look at the keyword match types. Now, I don't like using jargon too much. So basically, if you put your keywords in, when you put the keywords you want to choose, if you just write them normally, that is called a broad match, and that could match not just to that word. So let's take an example of remortgage as a keyword, and you're setting up your page, and you're setting traffic to a remortgage page, you're being really specific. But use a broad match. Mortgage will be broadly matched to remortgage, and they are two very different things. But because you've used broad match, it will just pick up anything to do with mortgages, not the specific thing you're after. If you've got like a, let's say remortgaging for releasing equity, if you have the plus sign remortgage, the plus sign equity, any search term that includes both those words will come up, not just anything that broadly matches. Hopefully that makes sense. There are other match types like phrase match. So if you have a certain number of words and you want them in this order, then you use like a phrase match. It's a bit more technical than just throwing your keywords in. So check your match types. If you are running them yourselves, do a bit of research on keyword match types. Google will tell you everything you need to know. Okay, so that's Google search. You've also got Google display. It is much cheaper, the banner ads on Google. So basically some websites will get paid per click from the banner space that they put on, and they give Google basically free rein to put whatever banners on there they like. They can sort of block certain ones if they want to, but essentially you can bid to be on other websites with a banner. And the latest kind of targeting is this custom intent targeting. Again, don't like to use jargon. Basically what it is you can put banners in front of people who have been searching for certain keywords. So if you are thinking Google search is too expensive, you can put your banner ads in front of people who have recently searched those keywords, and it is a hell of a lot cheaper, like dirt cheap. So that is the targeting we're using at the moment. So it's kind of replaced the old sort of keyword targeting. Before, you basically would put your banner on sites that had keywords. Now it's more on intent rather than just what's on the website. So you could end up your banner could be on a completely unrelated website, but that person has recently searched for what you do, so therefore it's a really good opportunity for you to get your banner in front of them. So those are my top tips on using Google Ads. I still think it's really effective. We use it loads. Depends on your budget, depends on what you want, but hopefully that's helped you.